Well, I had a lot of ideas. Also had a lot of projects that I'd worked on with Chief Beaver, second chief. And of course, I promised him I'd carry them out because they were his projects. But I thought, well, there's a lot of things that need to be done around here, and I thought I could probably get them started and finish them. Sometimes people say, well, all you've done is build buildings. Well, there's buildings that we needed, and we'll always need new buildings because we're short on space. When I first came on the council, we only had 350 employees. Now we got 1,600 around here, so had to have places to put them. And I think buildings may not be the most important thing we needed, but it was something we had to do, and we're still doing it. And some of my projects are going to carry over into the next administration. I swore to uphold the Constitution and tribal law. And up to right now, I can say I never broke a tribal law or violated the Constitution. But I had to prove that sometimes. And I look back when I was on the council and Ken Childers was speaker. And he said, well, I'm a student of the Constitution. I know what it says and know what it means. And at that time, I thought, oh, so what? But now, when I got in here and I've got to live by it, in which my administration has lived by it, we've had to go to court many times and prove it. And we've been successful every time in proving it. So I'm real happy that I can walk away from here and say that I followed the Constitution of this nation. And if we can't follow it, we need to change it. But we work with what we got. Of course, everything you do, you wish you could have done better. And when Chief Beaver broke ground for the casino, nothing happened really. And it took us 7 years to build a 2-year project. And I don't blame anybody now whose fault, my fault, their fault, it doesn't matter, it was done finally. But we missed out on millions and millions of dollars by stalling it. Of course, we didn't know the economy was going to be like it is. But we couldn't, we look back now and we could have done, I could have done better on that. And other people could have done better, but I'm sure there's a lot of things I wished I could do over and make them better. I think the next principal chief's going to have a tough time in the first term, tougher than I had it, because when I came in, I went to work and I got the housing authority completely changed away from the state. And doing that, we got about $50 million, and we had a backlog of about $30 million that we hadn't spent under the board. So when I came in, I told the housing director I wanted to spend 2 or 3 years in 1 year. And we've done that. We spent by the time I leave, we'll have spent all the surplus money, building houses, rehab. So that means I had about $50 million to work with. The next chief is going to have just the budget of maybe $16 million. And that's going to be hard to, compared to what we do now, that's going to be hard to get used to, and for the people, because they're going to expect more. Another thing is, when we financed the $200 million casino, we didn't make plans to fill that hole that we're taking the money from. I should have realized that to begin with, but I'm no financial expert. But that's why our budget was $24 million short. We didn't want to pull any money out of the permanent fund. And the next chief comes in, that budget hole is still going to be there for at least another year after he gets in here or she gets in. So it's tough now. We can find the money right now to cover it, but we're going to use it and it's not going to be there next year. So the next chief's going to have a budget crunch, and I don't know where he's going to find the money like we did. One thing they don't do is come in and tell you you're doing a great job. They come in and tell you you're doing a bad job. But the people that are dissatisfied are the squeaky wheel, and you hear a lot from them. But a pat on the back hardly ever happens. But this tribe needs to be reorganized. We're working with the same amount of directors we have when Claude Cox was here 20 years ago. We need to streamline the government. Every law in this nation needs to be checked out because they're duplicated, they're amended. We got laws on top of laws about the same thing. And the next chief is really hopefully he needs to reorganize this entire executive branch. And I can't give him much advice on what to do for sure, but if I had a do-over, that's what I would do. Well, I'd like to remember that I've worked for all the people, not just a few. And they respected me to put me in here, and I respect them. Not everybody's my friend out there, but I've lost a lot of friends on what I've done that was wrong in some people's eyes and right in some people's eyes, but I've been honest, I've been dependable. I'm sure that's what they expected. And I've took care of the tribal money as best I could. And we've done a great job in taking care of the tribal money, and permanent fund speaks for that. It had 60 million, 50 million when I came in. Now it's probably got 175 million. To me, that's a bank account. I don't know of any other tribe that's got that. And unless something drastic happened, if we had to pay off something, we wouldn't have any trouble doing it. And my administration, I tried to pick the best people I could pick. Some of them worked out, most of them worked out, some didn't. I tell anybody that I get a chance to talk to, I'm just one of the workers here. I may have a big title, but I'm just a worker, and I try to treat the employees the way I'd want to be treated, because all my life I was an employee, I wasn't a boss. I know how it is at the bottom. That's the reason we have the minimum wage raise at the highest in the nation, because I've been there before, and don't care if you're wealthy or poor or whatever, I treat you all the same.